Welcome to the deep dive. We take your sources, find the key insights. Today, it's something vital, something we often just assume is there: clean water. And specifically, we're doing a deep dive into the world of global microbiological testing of water. We've got some great source material here from Cognitive Market Research. And our mission really is to unpack the growth, figure out what's driving it, and look at some, frankly, quite surprising regional trends shaping this absolutely essential market.
Yeah, and it's so much more than just business figures, isn't it? This is about safety. It's like a silent guardian, constantly checking our water quality, preventing nasty things like E. coli outbreaks, giardia, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's that vigilance making sure the water coming into your home or used in industry or by municipalities is actually safe. I mean, without solid testing, our water systems would be, well, pretty vulnerable.
Okay, so let's unpack that growth you mentioned. The sources lay out a pretty impressive trajectory. I see here the global market was valued at, what, $1.49 billion back in 2021?
That's right, just a few years ago.
But then it's projected to, wow, nearly triple. It says $3.47 billion by 2033. It's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 7.26%. That feels pretty strong for a market this size. Really highlights its growing importance, doesn't it?
It really does. And what's driving that kind of powerful, steady growth? Well, it sort of boils down to a few key things. First, there's just this growing global focus on water safety. More people, more awareness about how vital clean water is for health.
Makes sense.
Then you've got stricter government regulations coming into play. And not just being written, but actually being enforced more strictly. Think about rules like the Safe Drinking Water Act in the U.S. They demand constant checking, more advanced testing.
Okay.
And finally, sadly, there's just a growing global awareness of waterborne diseases, which pushes everyone towards more proactive testing. And if you connect that dot, these aren't just policies on paper. They directly impact your health, your safety, making sure the water reaching you is, well, clean.
That absolutely clicks. So, okay, these drivers are global, intensifying everywhere. But is the growth happening evenly? Or are there, specific hotspots? Are the sources showing any shifts in who's leading the pack regionally?
That's a great question because, yeah, it's global, but the intensity definitely varies. North America, for example, is still the clear leader. Our sources' project revenues there will top $1.34 billion by 2033.
Right. And what's behind North America's dominance? Is it just scale?
Well, scale is part of it, but it's more the maturity of their regulatory systems. Especially in the U.S. and Canada, it's not just having the rules, it's enforcing them consistently. That drives constant demand for better testing. Actually, the U.S. alone is projected to account for over $1.04 billion of that North American total. It really reflects their lead in developing and using advanced testing tech and meeting those compliance demands.
Okay, so North America is strong and established. What about across the pond in Europe?
Europe's another major player, definitely. Projected to hit $961 million by 2033. And what's interesting there is that some countries, like France and Italy, are actually showing growth rates above the market average, exceeding 7% CAGR.
So what's fueling Europe's expansion? Is it the same things as North America, or are there sort of unique European factors?
Europe's momentum seems particularly driven by a really strong push for sustainable water management. It's quite proactive, so it's not just about reacting when something goes wrong, but investing heavily in advanced testing labs and technologies. They want to monitor a wider range of things, ensure long-term quality for people and the environment. It aligns with their, long-standing focus on public health and ecological standards.
Okay, this is where I think it gets really interesting, maybe surprising for some. Asia Pacific. The sources are calling it an emerging powerhouse. Forecasted to hit $701 million by 2033 with a CGR of 8.14%. That's significantly faster than the global average.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you zoom in there, India really stands out, almost a 9% CAGR. And that's largely down to rapid urbanization. More people in cities means skyrocketing demand for safe water. So you see big government initiatives trying to expand and secure clean water supplies.
Right.
But it's not just India. China and Japan are also major contributors, fueled by huge industrial needs for testing, plus strong public health measures, especially around new infrastructure projects.
Okay, let's move down the map a bit. South America.
South America is climbing too, projected to reach $263 million by 2033. Brazil and Argentina are leading the way there. Argentina actually shows a really strong CAGR, 8.68%. Seems driven by efforts to modernize their water safety systems.
And the Middle East, I see that mentioned too.
Yep, expected to cross $107 million by 2033. Countries like the UAE, Egypt, showing steady kind of mid-level growth. A lot of that is supported by strategic investments in water security. Think big desalination projects, they need rigorous testing.
Okay, but if we're talking pure growth rate, the fastest,
Ugh.
Africa.
Africa is definitely one of the fastest growing, yeah. The projection is remarkable. Revenue there expected to basically quadruple, from around $28 million in 2021 to nearly $94 million by 2033.
Quadruple, wow.
And that's an astonishing 11.19% CAGR. It's not just growth, like you said, it feels like a transformation.
What's behind that surge?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see nations like Nigeria, South Africa really leading this charge. It's driven mostly by crucial infrastructure development, new pipelines, treatment plants, things like that.
Right, basic needs.
Exactly. And also just increasing health concerns across the continent. Reliable water testing is becoming an absolute must-have. It's really a case of urgent need meeting foundational development. It's changing the whole water safety landscape there.
So pulling this all together then, what's the main takeaway from our deep dive into these sources? It seems like the microbiological testing of water market is expanding fast, pretty much everywhere. North America and Europe are the biggest chunks right now, thanks to established rules and infrastructure. But Asia-Pacific and Africa really stand out as these incredibly dynamic, high-growth regions. They seem set to really shape the industry's future, driven by things like urbanization, industrial growth, and urgent health needs.
That sums it up well. The fundamental drivers are pretty consistent globally. More concern about water safety, stricter rules getting enforced, and just this ongoing critical need for better, scalable testing solutions everywhere. Which raises an important question, I think.
Go on.
Well, how might all this sustained, accelerating growth in water testing actually ripple outward?
Yeah, what are the broader impacts? Like, how could this continuous push for cleaner water influence in a future city planning?
Or public health policies?
Or even, just subtly change how you interact with water, how you think about it in your daily life.
Exactly. Something to ponder.
Definitely something to consider.